Like you can see, that's a very interesting sport, and it takes the breath out of you, but then again, at the end of it all, you become a better person. Welcome back to Sports Chats here on KTN News. Remember, we said we are live from Valley Arcade, Mudangari Road, off Mudangari Road, that is Salonika Villas, where we are talking to martial arts exponents in Kenya, and one of them is the coach, Hilary Wanda, who's been phenomenal in this country, training the youngsters, coming through the systems and representing the country in various disciplines of martial arts. Karibu again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like you can see, now I'm breathing heavy.
It's training. By now you could have been a blue belt.
By now?
Yes.
Now, you are talking about belts and all that.
Yes.
What are all these belts? How many of them do you have?
Belts are basically level, and different martial arts have different type of belts. And commonly, a beginner is a white belt, and then after white, there's a yellow belt. So from yellow, for us, we have green, same to karate. We also have a blue after green, and then we have brown, and then we have black after that. So there are 6 different belts, but there are levels in each type of belt. Like yellow has 2 levels, green has 2 levels, blue has 2 levels, then brown has 3 levels.
How long can it take you basically to get from the bottom of those belts to black belt? Because people talk about being a black belt. You are the guy.
It's number one, takes discipline and consistency of 3 years. 3 years consistency is enough to get you from a beginner level to a black belt level. Yeah, just 3 years of consistency. Yes.
If for someone like me, not fit enough, you think 3 years is enough?
Fitness is a process, and it's something we work towards and build up every day. So today you might not be fit, tomorrow you'll be fitter. Fitness is about competing with yourself the way you are today to be a better person tomorrow. Yes.
Well, remember, one of the martial artists in the world is the Russian president, that is Vladimir Putin. He's a black belt, and I just wonder where he gets all this time to make sure that he gets to that level. But then if for a president to be a black belt, that is really inspiring.
Yeah, Putin is, I believe, a 7th dan in karate. And he's trained for a while. Yeah, before you get a black belt, you really have to train for a while.
Now I can see right behind us, the thing has really changed. I can see there's an introduction of weapons. Can we get into the field? This is a minefield. Yeah, you can see all those weapons.
Alex is our Kenyan Bruce Lee. He's very good with the nunchuck. So he mainly trains people how to use the nunchuck and everything. Yes, as you can see now, he's doing the introductory part of handling with both the right and the left hand. And people are taking turns. The ladies are also doing it. It's something you can learn just by practice. So, yeah, right now they are learning how to grab it with both hands and release one. Yes, now they are doing the spin, round, right and left, handling. Yes, I'll take the mic to Alex so that you can hear the instructions.
Okay. So from there, I want you to hold your stick there in front of you. So you rotate 1, 2, and bring it to your armpit. Hold it with your armpit. Good. Then release down. Then rotate again. 1, 2, 3. Then bring it to your armpit. Try to find that. So from there.
So that's just.
Well, coach, that's interesting. Just come in front of the camera. You know, I can't just get this. How are you doing all this? Let's see.
This is hand-eye coordination. So it's hand-eye coordination. So you practice until you know where your body is, even without looking. So yeah, like I can demonstrate some techniques there.
Yeah, he's talking about aligning your mind to the body, to the physical aspect of your body, so that you are able to use this weapon. What is the name of this weapon first?
Nunchucks. Nunchaku. That's a Japanese name. So this was. Originally was a farm too. So it was improvised by the Japanese because there was a law that you can't carry a weapon. So the farmers, they made a weapon from farm tools, so they could carry it. It's a tool, but you can carry it and you can defend yourself.
Yeah.
We took it and we are doing it wonderfully with this.
In one of my readings, reading the Marcos Dynasty, a book that talks about the former or the late Philippines strongman Ferdinand Marcos, he said that his father once told him that do not ever start a battle or a war if you are not sure of winning it. But we can see from the coach, he says that this was previously just a farm implement, but then it was turned into a gadget, a war button. Let's see how we demonstrate. Can you please go ahead and show us? Let's give him that space. Look at that. That's expert. Wow. Look at the speed, the accuracy, the concentration. The coach talked about aligning your mind and the body. Look, you know that every country has got its laws regarding weapons, and especially gun control. But then look at the coach, how he's using something that was previously just a farm implement. The farmers were using it for their farming methods. But then it has been improvised to become a weapon. Guy, I've got to salute you for doing this. Look at it. The way you stop it right under your armpit, how do you just do that? Once again. Yeah. Look, he's closed his eyes. That's dangerous. But he says that you've got to align your body and the mind. You close your eyes. Don't you think that is dangerous? You can crack your skull.
No, the trick is I keep the chain straight, so I can feel the one which is flying is most important. So when the stick is straight, I can feel where the one is flying is. So I know how to control, even without my hand can feel the whole movement of the weapon. Yeah.
Wow. But then don't try that at home, because you've got to be an expert, to be able to do that. Can anybody do this? At what stage have they reached? The people you've been training?
The basics, some of them are advanced stage, like Edwin there. Edwin is good there. Yeah, he can do that. He can do some basics. The others, they're just getting the basics. So, yeah.
Okay, let's just have Edwin. Edwin, step forward. I'm told that you've trained. You are at a different level from the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. How challenging is it to learn this?
Actually, this thing is very challenging, and it needs some courage, because most of the time you get yourself hitting yourself with it. So it needs a lot of energy to yourself again. Yeah.
And concentration, for that matter.
Yeah, exactly. Again, you need to put your mind together so that you can do this. If you can't do this, if you can't put your mind together, you can't be able to do that. Yeah.
Remember, in all our life skills, you've got always to concentrate. We see most of the accidents on the road. It comes down to the level of concentration. We always drive our vehicles out there, but then we don't really pay attention to the work that we are doing. And now, this gives you that concentration levels. It trains you.
Yeah. It also sharpen your mind. When it comes to anything, like you want to do something but your mind is not stable, you're not capable to do something. But this one encourages you to focus first and be able to do something that you're not able to do. It's just by learning.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be talking shortly about the attire. You can see I'm in all white, and I don't know, from the master himself, Hilary.
Yes.
How did we get ourselves to putting on white? And are there different robes, not just necessarily this?
Well, different martial arts have different types of clothing. We don white. And basically,
is there a reason for that?
Basically, this cloth in Korean is called dobok. So if I translate it to English, it means the clothes of the way. Yes.
Yeah. Being white, and we all know that we associate white with the peace and all that.
Yes. So that's why you see many martial arts donning on white. Yes.
Do I have to don this kind of attire, and how expensive is it for me to get into martial arts?
We can get locally made uniforms, although the quality is wanting sometimes. So we tend to get them mostly from our international office. But I think from 4,500 shillings, you can have a proper uniform. Yes.
4,500 shillings.
Yes.
But now that I have maybe a school-going kid, do I have to buy this uniform and the kid not to have uniform?
An average judo uniform is 16,000. Uniform is a requirement in participation in events, and it also shows that these people are together and they belong together. It's a way of branding also. Yes.
But what about the footwear?
The footwear is not a necessity, but it's also there. Yeah, like the shoes I have on are the traditional taekwondo shoes. We use them in most martial arts. Yeah, they're called kwon.
Yeah. Now, having known you for some time now, you come from a background of Tongil Mudo.
Yes.
You said Tongil Mudo means unified martial
The
arts.
unified martial arts, yeah,
Yes.
the way of the unified martial art.
Yeah, talk to us about Tongil Mudo.
Tongil Mudo is an interesting art because you fight standing and you fight on the ground. If you go to a karate competition, they only fight standing. There are no takedowns. If you go to a taekwondo competition, they only fight standing. If you go to a judo competition, they'll take you down. They struggle to take each other down. Now, if you go to a jiu-jitsu competition, they fight on the ground. Now, Tongil Mudo competitions unifies all these aspects of competition. We punch, we kick, we throw, and then we grapple. Yes.
You talked earlier on about taking at least a minimum of 3 years
Yes.
to get to black belt. But then at my age, maybe I don't want to compete. Of what importance is it maybe to a Kenyan who would want maybe to take up martial arts?
You see, competition is a choice, and many people who start martial arts never want to compete, but they find themselves to be very good competitors. And age is also not a limiting factor, because in competitions we have age categories. We have age and weight categories, so they look at your age and your weight. Then 3 years commitment. Toskin, I don't think you're 60. So if you're 60, then by 63 you will have gotten your black belt. Yes. But age is not a limiting factor, because I'm a full-time martial arts and fitness coach, and my oldest student is 62 years.
Wow, 62 years. And I'm very sure that our production crew at KTN, all those guys behind those cameras and, in that exchange room, you've heard it from the master himself that you can always get introduced. And not just the guys at KTN, of course, all Nairobians. Nairobi is becoming dangerous. You cannot just walk on those streets and, think that you are that safe. And I think these martial arts will stand so many people in good stead along our streets.
Yes, we don't train people basically to fight, but martial arts gives you the confidence to face situation. You see, mostly on many attacks, the number one demerit is panic. When you have confidence to face whoever is confronting you, then you can know what to do from there. Remembering that you have to think before you act. Yes.
You've got to think before you act. But like he says, that this martial arts gives you that confidence, to face anything. That you don't even have to panic. If you are trained martial artists, something happens. Just in a second, you have the chance to think before acting, but then you've got that confidence. And we've seen that. I'm sure even in military training, they need all this.
Yeah. It's good to have, to know hand-to-hand combat. We say it's a necessity. Even in military, it's a necessity. They learn how to use guns and everything else, but hand-to-hand combat is a situation where maybe you run out of your magazine and your enemy has also run out of the magazine. So what do? You don't beat each other with guns. You have to do something.
Yeah, because there's a growing trend also in Nairobi. Revelers, you go there, you want to enjoy your drink, and then one person who misuses his guns will always place it on the table, and everyone is scrambling for safety. It's happening in Nairobi.
You see, gun control should be not preached just in America, but also in Kenya, because many people have guns. And I think by the time you're in a position to get a gun license, you should be very able to handle it in as far as discipline, age, and you must have a very concrete reason of why you need it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Hilary Wahanda. He's been talking to us about martial arts in Kenya. And guess what? One thing that he has really taught us is martial arts gives you that confidence. It purges you of evil thoughts and you begin to respect humanity, respect other people. And we've been talking to them, that crew there. A big kudos for them. And as always, at KTN, we are at the forefront of bringing all this sport to you in this country. And we hope that next week also we'll have a chance to visit one of the sporting groups in Kenya, and always keep it at KTN. I've been your presenter, Robin Toskin. I want to believe Mike Gitonga is now in the studio. Yes, Mike, are you there?
Yes, I'm here and keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah.
And, well, it is good to see that.
You see, I've learned a few things here and there, and I'm ready to strike from this distance.
All right, well, all the best, Robin Toskin. I'm just not sure that you are supposed to be wearing a black belt. However, I'll leave that to the experts. But good to see you basically bringing us live footage on the sporting activity. And of course, martial arts is one of those that provokes a lot of interest, and especially knowing that it is one that now I see has a spiritual angle to it in terms of controlling your temper, your temperament, but also has a physical aspect to it. So thank you very much, Robin Toskin. And just before we wind up now, the Kenya Meteorological Department is warning of heavy rains between today and tomorrow. In an advisory released on Sunday, KMD predicted heavy rain starting 3 a.m. Monday to 9 a.m. Tuesday in parts of Western, Central and North Rift Valley, Northern and Central regions. KMD says heavy rainfall of more than 50 millimeters is likely to affect counties of Turkana, Marsabit, Samburu, Mandera, West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet, Trans Nzoia, Uasin Gishu, Nandi, Baringo, Nakuru, Kericho, Bomet, Kakamega, Vihiga, Kisii, Nyamira, Laikipia, Nyandarua, Kiambu, Murang'a, and Nyeri. The weathermen are also advising that residents in urban areas to be on the lookout for potential flash floods. Residents in landslide-prone areas like Murang'a County are also advised to be on high alert. And we are now going to leave you with a traffic update, but also looking at the weather already seeming to take a turn. Remember, the advisory is from round about 2 a.m., but that's just an estimate. And it already looks like the city, the CBD, that's Kenyatta Avenue roundabout, seems to be a little bit wet. Traffic moving, flowing quite well, but obviously the alert has already been let out, and it's just for us to be a bit more cautious, especially with the flash floods. So if you're in areas that are likely to have flash floods, please be on the lookout. If you're in areas with mud that are likely or prone to mudslides, again, be on the lookout. That's at the CBD area, Kenyatta Avenue roundabout, traffic flowing. And that brings us to where we now would like to wind up the show and wish you a fabulous and a fantastic and a wonderful day. But do stay with us right here on KTN News. Betty Chalo is seated and ready to take up the reins of News Center and give you more news and